What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports 2 Show. Today is August 31st, 2021. In this video, I want to be continuing my series doing some record predictions for each NFL team. This one is of the Miami Dolphins. And the Miami Dolphins are very interesting this year because, last year they started off pretty decent with Ryan Fitzpatrick. They turned to Tua midway point last year. And despite winning some games with Tua, he was extremely inconsistent, and that to me is my one main issue for the Miami Dolphins heading into this year. Let's go ahead and get started with this prediction here. And week one, they go on the road to take on the New England Patriots. And if you've not heard yet, the Patriots have cut Cam Newton, and Matt Jones is their week one starter. Matt Jones and Tua Tagovailoa played together with each other at Alabama University. So this is a very, very interesting matchup here. I have the Miami Dolphins losing this one. Like I said, and this is going to be kind of what I say for a lot of these Miami losses. I do not trust Tua at all, especially against some top-tier teams or good teams. When you're playing the Buffalo Bills in your division, it's going to be hard to beat them, especially when your quarterback's Tua. The Dolphins have a great coaching staff. Flores is going to be one of the best coaches in the NFL, in my opinion, in the next couple of years. But, the Dolphins do not have the roster like New England does. I think New England is on a revenge tour this year. I think they're going to be much better than people think. And with this loss, Miami moves to 0-1 to start off the year. Week two, they host the Buffalo Bills. And like I was saying, the Bills are just really talented. As of right now, they're my favorites to win the AFC East, but I do think that's a little closer than what people think. But Tua, I think some of these games might be close, and they really could go either way. If Tua is average, I would rather have Tua be average and inconsistent, because inconsistent, he can throw for 300 yards one game, and then for 150 and 2 picks the other. So with Tua, his inconsistency, I think, will hold Miami back this season. And playing a nice team like Buffalo, I just do not see them getting the win here in week two. They drop to 0-2. Week three, they go on the road, take on the Las Vegas Raiders. And, how I say that Tua is inconsistent, that's basically the definition of the Las Vegas Raiders. Inconsistent and average is the best words to describe the Raiders. The Raiders, in my opinion, are one of those teams who can beat top-tier teams occasionally, but other times will lose to crappy teams like the Lions or Texans or something like that. But the Raiders, they're going to be decent. If they were in pretty much any other division, for the most part, in the AFC, I think they would have a better record. I think the AFC West is extremely underrated. But I could see the Raiders pulling this victory here over the Dolphins. Wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins ended up winning here. But I think Carr is underrated. They have Henry Ruggs coming back. Their offensive line isn't bad. I think the Raiders will be decent this year. And with Tua, I already don't trust them enough, and especially on the road in Vegas. With this loss, they drop to 0-3. Week four, they host the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts are one of my favorite teams heading into the year. I know I not really talked about them a whole much on my episodes, but I think they're one of the most intriguing Super Bowl dark horses in the NFL. They have a tremendous offensive line. They have an outstanding defense. They're the best offensive lineman in the NFL, in Quentin Nelson. You can make a case the best linebacker in the NFL, Darius Leonard. They have some nice running backs. They have some nice receivers. I think Michael Pittman Jr. is going to have a breakout year. Carson Wentz, I think, will honestly surprise some people if he can stay healthy. Overall, the Dolphins are just way over too powered in this one here by the Colts. And, they are really outmatched in just about every single position. When you compare their position groups, with this loss, they drop to 0-4. Week five, they go on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I do not see them pulling off this victory here at all. If they're not going to beat the Raiders, they're not going to beat the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have all their starters coming back from last season. They had the best quarterback of all time as their quarterback in Tom Brady. This will be a long day for the Miami Dolphins. Week six, they finally get the first one of the year against the Jaguars in Jacksonville. I think this has potential to be a fun game. You got Tua. He won a championship at Alabama. You got Clemson with Trevor Lawrence. He also won a championship. Two young quarterbacks who have potential to be some nice, really good quarterbacks in the years to come. I think this has potential to be a close game, though. Despite, in my opinion, I don't think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to get many wins, but I do think they might be competitive at times, kind of like how the Jets will be this season, in my opinion. But with this win, they improved to 1-5. Week 7, they host the Atlanta Falcons. They also get another win here. I think they can get this one pretty easily here. They have Matt Ryan, but he's probably going to be gone after this season, in my opinion. They have Ridley, they have Kyle Pitts, but aside from that, they really don't have anybody. Their defense is absolutely atrocious right now. With this win, they improved to 2-5. And a major upset. Miami gets the win against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but there's times he can be inconsistent. And with Tua being inconsistent, that can be good and that can be bad. And like I mentioned earlier with Flores, I think he's going to be an outstanding head coach in the NFL. And I really think he might help, Miami Dolphins get a couple of wins at times that they might not necessarily should. This is a very, very impressive win here by the Miami Dolphins. And they improved to 3-5. Week 9, this is a win against the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans have the worst roster in the NFL. I personally believe they have a realistic chance of going 0-17. I really don't need to explain this one much here. This is an easy win for the Dolphins. Easily their easiest game of the schedule. Week 10, they host the Baltimore Ravens. I have this one a loss here for the Miami Dolphins. I say this all the time, but when you play the Ravens, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get the running the ball down your throat all the time. And the Dolphins don't have that great defense that can stop the run. I just do not see them getting up to victory here in Week 10. They're up to 4-6. Week 11, they go on the road to take on the New York Jets. I think this game has potential to be a possible upset. I'm very intrigued with the Jets this season. I'm not expecting many wins, 3-4, something like that. But I think they're going to be very competitive, much more competitive than people think. I cannot wait to watch Zach Wilson this year. I think Wilson and Tua has potential to be a pretty fun matchup. Two young quarterbacks in the league right now. But I have the Dolphins getting this win here, and they improve to 5-6. Week 12, they host the Carolina Panthers. This game could really go either way. I'm really, really high on the Panthers, but Sam Darnold's inconsistency to me is a major question mark, just like how Tua's is. Like I said, this could go either way, but this being in Miami, I think this gives a little bit of an edge to the Dolphins. They improved to 500 and 6-6. Week 13, they host the New York Giants. I mean, how I'm talking about Tua's inconsistency, that's basically the definition of Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has the pieces around him. All he has to do is play average, turnover-free football. And at times, I think he is capable of that. And I have the Giants beating the Dolphins here. Miami drops to 6-7. Heading into their bye week, they are 6-7. Not really what you're expecting for a Dolphins fan. Week 15, they host the New York Jets, and I'm like, I have them losing this game to the Jets. I really think the Jets are going to be better than people think this season. I mean, they have a much improved offensive line compared with the head Sam Darnold. They have Becton, the huge offensive tackle from Louisville. They traded up to get Elijah Vera Tucker. They have Zach Wilson, who's going to be phenomenal, in my opinion. Michael Carter, the running back from North Carolina. Elijah Moore, Denzel Mims. They've had some injuries on the defensive side of the ball, like Vinny Curry's out for the year, and also Carl Lawson. But I think the Jets have potential to pull up the upset here against the Dolphins. Week 16, they get the road victory here against the New Orleans Saints, and this is a very interesting game. This is one of those toss-up games. You don't know how Jameis Winston's going to perform with the New Orleans Saints. You don't know how Tua is going to perform with the Dolphins. I have them getting the upset. I don't know if you would call this an upset victory or not here against the New Orleans Saints, but I have them getting the win because, Michael Thomas is out the first 6 weeks. I know this is week 16, but, there's already rumors that Michael Thomas wants traded and stuff like that. So it's going to be very interesting. Drew Brees is gone, obviously, for the Saints. And, the Dolphins and possibly the Saints around this week 16, 17, 18, they're going to be playing 110% because this is the round playoff time. You got to win these really, really crucial games to get in the playoff position. So with that win, they improved to 7-8. Week 17, they go on the road to take on the Tennessee Titans, and they lose this game here. The Titans are overrated, in my opinion, but I trust their team more than I do the Miami Dolphins. Ryan Tannehill, he's all right, but I don't think it's anything more than a game manager. They surprised everybody in the offseason and traded to get star wide receiver Julio Jones. They have him, A.J. Brown, and Derrick Henry, who you can make a case is the best running back in the league. But the Titans' defense is a question mark in my opinion. That's my only issue with them. But I still have the Titans getting the win here against Miami. Miami drops to 7-9. Week 18, a home game against the New England Patriots. I have them winning this game here, and they improve to 8-9. And it's interesting. I have them winning this game here as an upset victory. And, I'm not really high on the Dolphins that many people think, like most people are. They had 10 wins last season, which is great, especially when Tua's rookie year. But, half those games Tua didn't start. So my record prediction for the Miami Dolphins is 8-9. I really think the AFC East is a lot harder than people think. The Jets are going to be competitive. The Patriots are a playoff team. The Bills are a Super Bowl contender, in my opinion. And the Dolphins, they are potentially a playoff team, but with how hard their division is and the inconsistency of Tua Tagovailoa, I just don't see the Dolphins having as much success as they had last season. My ceiling for the Miami Dolphins is 11-6. I think they are capable of having a couple more wins if Tua can just be more consistent and playing turnover-free football. And my floor for them is 7-10. This season for the Miami Dolphins is going to be very, very interesting. Hopefully Tua can be more consistent and maybe lead the Miami Dolphins to the playoffs where they haven't been in several years. That's about it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. I will see you all next time on the Sports 2 Hunt Show.